In today's video, I'll be showing you how to shrink a hard drive and also create a new volume in Windows 10. There's no need to download any additional software to shrink a hard drive. You can use the program Disk Management that already comes with Windows 10. But before we go any further, I would recommend that you back up any files that you have on that hard drive before doing this, just in case anything was to go wrong. So the first thing we need to do is open up the Start menu, and you now need to type in Disk Management. You now need to click on Create and Format Hard Disk Partitions. You will then end up with a window that looks like this. This is all the partitions and hard drives that are on my computer. So as you can see, there is quite a lot going on there. So I'm going to be using my D drive, which is here, and at the moment it has 100% free space, which you can see here. And just to show you that as well, if I open up File Explorer and then go onto my D drive, you can see there's nothing in it. So I am perfectly safe to mess around with this hard drive, and if anything was to go wrong, I'm not going to lose any important files. So like I said at the start, make sure you have backed up your important files. So to shrink this hard drive, I now need to right click on the hard drive. I then need to go to Shrink Volume. You will end up with a window that looks like this. So, as you can see, we have our total size before shrink. We then have the size of available shrink space, and we can then enter in the amount of space we want to shrink to. So before you do this though, just take note on what it says here. You cannot shrink a volume beyond the point where any unmovable files are located. See the defrag event in application log for detailed information about the operation when it has completed. So you cannot go beyond the point of, if you've got a load of files on the drive that you're about to shrink, you cannot obviously make the drive smaller than what the files take up of disk space. So we now need to enter in a new amount. So to work this out, basically 1 gig is 1,000. So if you want to maybe make the hard drive 100 gig, you need to type in 100,000. Which in this video I'm actually going to do. And as you can see, my hard drive's like 560 gig. So I now need to type in 100 and then 00 and then 0. And as you can see now, the total size after shrink is going to be 476 gig. Which is correct, because I want to shrink 100 gig, take off 100 gig off the hard drive, and then that's going to leave 476 on the hard drive. So we can now go ahead and press shrink, and it will begin to shrink the drive. So once it's finished, as you can see, I now have unallocated space, which is 97 gig, which is the 100 gig that I just typed in. And you can now see the D drive has actually gone down from 567 gig or whatever it was, down to 464, which is correct. So I now need to assign this unallocated space by right clicking on it and then go New Simple Volume. You then need to go Next, and you now need to keep that simple volume size as it is, default, and then press Next, and we can now assign it a letter. So I'm going to keep it as H, that's fine, and then press Next again. You can now choose the format if you want, and you can also give it a name. I'm happy to keep it as it is, as I'm just doing this for a video. We can then go ahead and press Next again, and then Finish. And as you can see, it's now formatting the volume, and it's now been assigned to H. Which means if I open up File Explorer again, and I now go onto this PC, you can see that I have my new volume, which is H, and it's got 97 gig. And there you go, that is how you shrink a volume and also create a new volume in Windows 10. I hope this tutorial has helped you out and you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button below and subscribe for more computer sluggish tutorials.